What's good, everybody? Let's dive into it. So, back in 2016, there was a indie horror film that came out called Terrifier about Art the Clown. Now, it was getting buzz. People was talking about it, and when they released it to the theaters, you know, some people were saying that they like it, some people said that they didn't like it, and they were wondering what the box office was going to say about it. Well, now Terrifier is on a third film and has become the franchise as a whole has become a box office financial success. And people all over the world can't get enough of Art the Clown. Now some of y'all are wondering, how is this, because the movie looks cheesy, it looks kind of cheap, it don't have the big budgets, and that's okay. But if you look at the history of horror movies in general, a lot of horror movies do not have big budgets. They're not going to get the 50, 60, 80, $100 million budgets. They're not going to get those because you can make a horror movie for a small budget, and based upon what it is and how people respond to it, you can turn that into a franchise and have a huge success off of it. We've seen with the Blair Witch, we've seen with Halloween, we've seen with Paranormal Activity. So you don't need big budgets for this. Now I'm gonna break down the facts for y'all. The first Terrifier came out in 2016. It had a budget of $35 to $55,000. It made $416,000. Not bad. And when the movie came out, it developed a cult following. It took time for people to catch on to it. But once people caught on to it and they started to watch it and they started to fall in love with it, this made the writer and director, Damien Leone, and the producer say, you know what? We got something here. People are talking about this. Let's do it again. So they created the sequel. Now, we already heard of the sophomore slumps that when you make a sequel, sequels don't really do that well. They shot Terrifier 2 on a budget of $250,000, a little bit higher than that first budget of $35,000 to $55,000. $250,000 budget. The movie makes $15.7 million. So now they sitting back like, oh shit, man, people really love Art the Clown, and they falling in love with this. Now they start to develop their fan base. Now the base starts to get bigger. Now people are starting to talk about it more, not to point, not just talking about it, but they become fans of the franchise. So of course they're going to be like, all right, let's do it again. So now with Terrifier 3 that recently came out, they shot this one on a $2 million budget. And so far, it has made $20.7 million so far at the box office. But hear me out on this. The marketing budget for Terrifier 3 was only a $500,000. Let me say that again. The marketing budget was only $500,000. Now you have studios that don't even spend that type of money on marketing. They spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on marketing. But with Terrifier, they spent the $500,000. And each movie that has came out has been one success after another success after another success. But the reason why the Terrifier franchise is so successful is because number one, they know their audience. They know their audience. They know what the audience wants to see. They know what they like, and they cater to those audience. They're not going in there saying, let's make some changes, let's try something different. You know, like with Joker, oh, we're gonna make it a Broadway musical and all that. No, they're not doing that. They're not doing it. And I love what Damien Leone, the creator, is doing. If I'm saying that correctly, Damien Leone, yeah. But I love what he's doing. He's saying, hey, this is my baby. I created it. I'm not making any changes. I'm not trying to go that commercial route. I'm not doing none of that. I'm keeping it exactly the way it is. And you see in the results that every time it's gotten better and better and better. Kind of reminds me of A24. Why A24 is so successful? Because they're not trying to be commercial. They're not trying to uh, say, oh, let's do this and let's do this. Let's make some changes. Let's go another route. No. This is why anything that you do, you have to build up a fan base and an audience first. Because without that without that fan base or that audience, you're not going to be successful. And what I mean by that is not just saying, okay, I got 150,000 people follow me on Instagram. I got 50,000 follow me on Twitter. Okay, yeah, that's cool. But how many of those people are actually going to spend money on your product? That's the question. Fan base. Now, with this movie making $20 million, oh, rest assured, they're going to make another one. Terrifier 4 is definitely going to come. Because, they always say, well, depends on what this one does, what the success is, will determine if we make another one. They're going to make another one. My only fear about this is that they don't run it in the ground. That's just my only fear. Because we've seen that happen where when you have a franchise that's successful, they want to keep making multiple ones, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, 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 no. You got to know when to get out. My opinion, I think they're going to make Terrifier 4. They're going to probably make 5. And I'm thinking that 5 is going to be that's going to be the final one. That they're going to be like, okay, you know what? 5 movies, all these movies have been successful. We're going to step back from Art the Clown because we don't want to water it down where people get tired of him. And that's okay. But this is why a lot of studios need to take a look at some of these independent companies and these independent films and see the success that they have. And in my opinion, what keeps Hollywood going is not the major studios, it's the independent films. Because if you think about it, look at how many major studio films come out and they flop. But look at how many independent films come out and they're successful. They don't have the big budgets, but they're successful as far as money wise, they're successful as far as fan wise, and people want to see more of it. And we've seen now where a lot of people are not really going back to the movies. Now, the only reason if they do go to the movies, it has to be something that they want to see. So I can't wait to see Terrifier 4 and 5. If you guys haven't seen the Terrifier franchise, check it out. You know, if you can get past it being low budget, if you can get past it being kind of cheesy, you will like it. So if you do like it, if you don't like it, come back and tell me what you thought about it. So leave your comments down below, like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned.